Students, this is Mr. Quigley speaking to you on behalf of all the guidance counselors, and we want to talk about selection of courses for you for next year. We should be talking to freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in advisories. While I'm doing this, teachers, would you please pass out the materials? Everybody should get a book, course description guide. Everybody should be getting a schedule worksheet. And then you're going to get one of these colored papers here, depending on what color, depending on what grade you are. So teachers, would you start handing and distributing those materials out while I talk with the students? First of all, I'm going to ask all the students, please pay attention. Do not write until I tell you to do so. I know you may think you know what you're doing, but we want to make sure everything gets done right here. And so it'll be a lot better if you just wait until you go through the whole presentation with me. We'd really encourage you to share this with your parents. You know, parents want to know the types of courses you're taking. Please share this information with your parents. A real important thing to keep in mind is this is something that you're going to be living with. So when you select a course, remember this is a course you're going to take next year. You're not going to have the option to turn around and say, in the beginning of second semester, you know, I've changed my mind. I don't think I want to take business foundations. I'd rather take 2D art. That's not going to happen. Some of you have tried to do that this year and you've been turned away, and you know that. In fact, we've been doing this for a couple of years. You're not going to be able to change courses. So put a lot of thought, a lot of discussion maybe with your parents, older brothers or sisters in your courses and the courses that you select, because you're selecting courses for next year at this time. So again, this information should be distributed to you, and here's what's going to happen. Materials go out today. Starting this Monday, that's January 28th, counselors are going to meet with freshmen. Those are the students of the class of 2016. We're going to come over to seminar on Monday and sometimes on Tuesday and maybe on Wednesday if we need that time, and we're going to work with students to select your courses. Now, I know a couple of you are saying, well, I don't have seminar. That's okay. We'll get you another way. We may pull you out of a class while we're over there during a seminar time period. We may pull you on individually, but we're going to start this Monday. That means you have today, tomorrow, over the weekend to talk to your parents and make your course selections. You need to be ready by this Monday. That's the 28th. I'll probably say that about 5 or 6 more times during this presentation to remind you. Sophomores, juniors, you're going to make your course selections beginning February 11th, and you're going to do that out of your science classes. So for example, if you have Mrs. Merkling for environmental science, there's a date that she's going to send all of her environmental science students or AP environmental science students to the guidance office, and you're going to be scheduling. Your science teachers can tell you what that date is because we've got a schedule working with them right now. So you need to be ready to go. Sophomores and juniors, you need to be ready by February 11th. So kind of give you some dates to be ready. So the first group has to be ready are freshmen, and that's this Monday coming up. Once again, prepare yourself. You're going to have a blank course description or course listing right here. When you come in to see us, it should not be blank. In fact, I'll tease you about this, but to be frank, if you bring me a blank one, I'm going to select your courses for you or your guidance counselor, and you don't want that to happen. You want to be the one to select your courses. So here's what it should look like. When we start meeting, I'm going to just get my papers ready here together. Let's start with the freshmen to be sophomores, class of 2016. Here's what your course description and your course selection should be. You can get all the information you need right out of this book. I want to stop and talk about the book for a second. As you can imagine, you've got your course description guide. You've all seen these before. This is a brand new one. At the very beginning, there's a whole great amount of information about making selection for courses. Then the next part in here has to do with your diploma requirements. If you're on Core 40 diploma, Core 40 with academic honors, Core 40 with technical honors. This is all information you need when you're making your selection for your courses. Then we get into the body of the book. Every department, every course offered at Homestead is in this book. And by the way, this is online in the Student Services webpage. But every course is here. And I'm just going to use one course as an example because they're all set up the same way. Let's say we talk about child development, 0726. Talks about what grade level can take this course, how many credits it's worth, whether it's a Core 40 elective or not, a directed elective, and a lot about the course. So if you want to know about child development, you can go right to this book. In fact, if you want to know about any course at Homestead High School, science, business, math, English, it's all in here. Everything you need to know is right in this course description guide. The final thing to help you in this course description guide, I'm moving towards the back of the book now, are the flow charts. I just went to English as an example, and this should help you flow from one course to another. If you happen to be a sophomore in English 10, this would tell you what the next English class you should choose. And we have the flow chart set up for every department. Engineering technology, business, math, science, they're all in here. These flow charts should help you out a lot. I'm going to put the course description guide away for right now because we know that's a very detailed listing of all courses. And we're going to start going back to the course selection sheets, which look like this. If you're a freshman, class 2016, you should have green ones. If you're a sophomore to be junior, class 2015, you should have a purple one. And if you're a junior to be a senior, class 2014, yours should be pink. All the information you need is right on these. This is the same thing. This is a listing of a class and the title of the class with the course number. Remember, in the description guide, you had a lot of information about each course. This is just the course number and course title, but that will help you out a lot. So where are we headed with this? Again, I'm going to repeat, freshmen, you need to be ready by Monday. Right now, you have a blank scheduling worksheet. This needs to be ready, freshmen, by this Monday. Sophomores and juniors, you have till February 11th to be ready, because here's what this is going to look like. You're going to select the courses you want for next year. Even though this is set up with 7 and 7, it looks like first semester and second semester, you are not, let me repeat that, you are not selecting the class period or the semester. It's just an easy way for you to see what have I selected. So I've started out with a freshman to be a sophomore. This happens to be Sammy the sophomore. And Sam the sophomore has completed, this is what Sam wants to take next year. He's gone and used this course selection guide to help get the correct numbers. He's referred back to his curriculum guide, his course description guide, to see if the courses he wants. And here's what Sam's going to take. He's going to take English 10A and 10B, which is 3106, 3116. He's going to take geometry, and he looked up the numbers. He's going to take earth space science. He's going to take world history and Latin. Sam's a band student, so he's got band in there. And Sam wants study hall first semester, so he's going to put 0001. This is the only course where you can specify a semester, by the way, is 0001 study hall. If you wanted second semester, you can go 0002 study hall. And then Sam also wanted personal finance. Notice what else we have for his Sam. Sam has listed alternative electives. Alternate electives. In other words, if he doesn't get one of these courses up here, this is what Sam wants in place of it. So by this Monday, Sam's going to be ready. So when one of the guidance counselor meets with Sam, Sam's going to say, here are my courses to be selected. Now again, if you have a question or two, that's fine. But don't come to us with a blank sheet. This needs to be done and ready. Say, well, what if I have a question? I don't understand about this one class. Great, we're here to help you answer questions. Send us an email. Email your guidance counselor. Do not come down to the guidance department and say, I need to see a guidance counselor. We're starting to schedule. We're going to be over in the 8th grade, the middle school, scheduling students. We're going to be doing still some junior interviews. So send us an email. We'd be very happy to respond to an email and send you the answer. And if it's something that's really complicated, we'll call you in. So please do not come to Student Services and ask for an appointment to see your guidance counselor to discuss classes for next year. You select your courses for next year. And if, again, one or two little questions, either email us or see us when we're here to schedule you. So this is what Sammy or any freshman or sophomore, I'm going to hit you with that date, this Monday coming up, the 28th, you have to be ready to go. Here's what Sammy's done as far as his course selections. And this is what Sammy's going to take next year. One of the reasons we have you write it out is if you come to us next year, second semester, and say, oh, I didn't sign up for personal finance. Yes, you did. There's your sheet right there, Sam. So make sure you select what you want to take. All right, so that was Sammy, the sophomore. Here I've got Janice, the junior. So I'm going to change courses here. course selection sheets, purple for you juniors. And you can see it's pretty much the same thing. Janice has selected to take English Literature, Etymology, Web Page Design as elective courses. By the way, I don't know if you're familiar with this etymology course. This is an elective course. This is not an English required course. This does not fulfill a requirement. Don't listen to older brothers and sisters because it used to. This is now an elective. You cannot substitute an English course for that. But it's a great elective. It helps students get ready for SATs and ACTs. So if you're interested in etymology, there that is. By the way, freshmen and sophomores, you can take etymology too. That'll be on your course selection sheet. Algebra, chemistry, here we go. Janice, she put her PE off until her junior year. Well, that's okay. So she's going to take PE, she's going to take a government class, French, and she's going to take advanced health and technical theater. These are the 14 courses that she's selected. And she's also put in a couple alternate electives in here. And so by February 11th, Janice and all the other sophomores to be juniors are going to be ready. A little shot back to your freshmen. Remember, Monday, you guys have got to be ready by this Monday coming up. All right, so let's take a look at a couple senior ones. Seniors, you should have a pink course selection guide to help you. And I'm going to give a couple examples to seniors because those of you who don't know this, seniors, you've got a lot of options. You can be January grads, you can be co-oping, you can release early for higher ed. I'm sure most of your counselors have spoken to you about this. Students that are freshmen, sophomores, is something for you to look forward to. Seniors, keep this in mind. Here we have Sharon Senior, and Sharon's going to do a little something different. Sharon's going to release early, period 5, 6, and 7, or 6 and 7, or whatever Sharon sets up, to do what's called co-oping. Co-op's a class, and then you also have to be working with that class. Sean's going to take English, TV broadcasting, it's got the numbers right there, trigonometry, that's a new name for trig, by the way. Those of you who know it as PC, pre-calc trig, this is the new state name. It's still trigonometry. And then they're going to take the co-op class. Those of you who are interested in co-oping, you have to fill out an application. You have to have a part-time job for co-oping. And there is a class that goes with it. And then as you can see, you can do work release. You can walk out of the building after 4th period, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Or if you have an extra class of 5th period, you can go out 6th and 7th. So this is what's called a work release. So this is what Sharon's going to do. Again, you're going to be ready by February 11th to do this. I'll give you another example because, as I said, there's a lot of things that seniors can do. Here's Senior with Higher Ed. Now, Higher Ed is a program where students are going to leave the building and go take a college class at either University of St. Francis, IPFW, Ivy Tech, Indiana Tech, a lot of different colleges you can go for that. What we're going to ask a senior who's going to do Higher Ed is that you should have, first of all, talked to your guidance counselor about this, and then you need to block out a 2-period time. So I'm going to look over here, because this is what most people do. They usually block out 6th and 7th. So they're going to list the number 5142 for higher ed. They're going to block out 6th and 7th. So all the courses that this person wants, ethnic literature, AP stats, physics, AP Spanish, study hall, are going to be blocked into periods 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so they can release for 6th and 7th. Here's a little bit something different. This person's going to try, the first thing out in the fall is to try to get an 8 a.m. class at, let's just say, University of St. Francis. So we're going to block out Homestead classes for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not coming in until 3rd period. So you have a lot of different options that you can do here. Again, they've listed alternate electives in here. So these are all examples of schedule worksheets that you can put together for yourselves. I want to remind everybody that if you look at a worksheet, selection sheet, and if you got the PR next to a number, that means that's a prerequisite to that course. So you have to make sure that you check and make sure you have the prerequisite. Example is you can't take advanced 2D art until you've got the prerequisite. The prerequisite is 2D art. So you have to be aware of that. There's also a thing on here called AUD, that's an audition. An example for audition might be Class Royale. That's show choir. If you want to be in show choir, you have to audition for it. Now, what we're going to ask you to do is if you are pretty confident that you can make something that's got an audition, we want you to put it down. Make sure you list alternates in case you don't make it into that audition class, but go ahead and put it down. There's one that's called TR, that's teacher recommended. You can't take a course unless you have a teacher recommendation. Those are all listed in there. But again, just keep saying to you over and over again, you've got some deadlines. Freshmen, You've got this Monday coming up. We're going to start with freshmen. And if you're called on and you have a blank sheet, we're going to fill it in for you. So don't do that. Make sure that you have your courses that you want selected. If you have a little question here or there, that's fine. We'll help you. We'll answer that for you. As we stated, we'll, go ahead and send an email to your guidance counselor, and we'll help you with that. A couple other things that are here on my notes that we want to cover with you. First of all, be sure you watch graduation requirements. Seniors, that's your responsibility. You have to check your own graduation requirements. Some of you are interested in Anthus Career Center, sophomores to be juniors, juniors to be seniors. You're going to block out period 5, 6, and 7 for Anthus Career Center. There's an extra application that you have to do. So if you're interested in doing the automotive program or IT or anything like that down at Anthus Career Center, you have to apply. It's not automatic. We only get 50 spots. Remember, we've got probably over 1,000 students between the junior and senior class who want those spots down at Anthus Career Center. Cosmetology, you will have to sign up for those. You have to be on track for graduation or your application will automatically be kicked out. So you have to be on track for graduation and you have to have a good attendance record and a good discipline record before we'll recommend you for Anthus Career Center. Higher ed, we covered the fact that you want to block out classes for that. Just about the last thing I want to cover with the scheduling is a reminder that we're going to do this for the umpteenth time. Freshmen, I hope you all say together, we got to be ready to go on Monday. And sophomores and juniors, we're going to start with you on February 11th. Speaking to the juniors, this has nothing to do with scheduling, but you remember as you've been meeting with your guidance counselor, if you're college bound, we've been talking to you about making sure you take a spring SAT or ACT. There's the dates for the SAT. There's the dates for the ACT. You have to sign up in advance for those, so this is just another reminder for you. And that's just about going to wrap it up. We want to, again, remind you, please share this information with your parents. The information is going to be on our website, the Student Services website. And if you have questions, have your parents send an email. Do not come in and ask questions about next year's scheduling. You just need to send us an email, and if it's something really complicated, we'll send for you. Freshmen, let's be ready to go this Monday. And sophomores and juniors, we'll see you through science classes. If you don't have a science class, we'll pull you in individually. We'll be beginning February 11th. This is Mr. Quigley signing off about selecting courses for next year, and you all have a good day.